Hi, I'd like to share a little bit of reflection on the topic of discipleship. You know, supposedly that every Christian, Christ follower, every believer is a disciple. It's just not like a group of some Christian, some disciple, and then other a so-so Christian. I think the reality is like that, but that's not what the Bible tells us a story about disciple of Jesus Christ. Of course, we read the Bible, they are sinner. Jesus called them, they're saved by God's grace through their faith in Jesus Christ. We saw that, Paul, his name was Saul, of Tarsus, and was converted and saved and become the Apostle Paul. Now there's a role for apostle, but every Christian is supposed to be a disciple. And so I don't think that there will be like someone, this one will be, a strong disciple, the other will just a lukewarm Christian. The reality is that, but what the Bible tells us is that everyone who believes in Jesus Christ got saved, give their life to Jesus Christ, follow him. That's a disciple. But to be honest, the reality is that, let's say a church has 100. All pastors around the world wish everyone, or at least 60%, 70% is a disciple of Jesus Christ and strong, growing disciple of Jesus Christ. But it kind of perplexed me sometimes. It happened that, Jesus Christ himself, he can get 1,000 disciples, but he got 12 disciples. Of course, that would be a symbol linked to the 12 tribes in the Old Testament. But the point is that it looked like that Jesus called to himself a small group of people who want to know him, to get close to him, and know the inside out, follow where he's go. Being a disciple in the first century, meaning like you move your stuff, your belonging, and follow the master. That's this region, go to that region, learn by doing, and follow, see, witnessing. And that's what's supposed to discipleship, right? We follow the word of God, we do it, we practice it, we fail, we try again with prayer and fasting, all of that. It's just get on fire because we follow Jesus Christ, the Word of God. And then it's dawned to me that also there is one story, which is all of you should know, is story of Gideon and 300 men in the book of Judges. It's kind of a perplex to me because this is the battle. This is the fighting army. The more you have with the fighter or warrior, the better, right? It's just common sense. You want more fighting power. But here in the story, we see that the Lord told Gideon that the people with you are too many for me to give the Midianite into their hand, lest Israel boast over me, saying, "My own hand has saved me." This struck me. What's wrong with that? Having too many people and then and still winning. But I cannot tell God what to do, but this is what we read, and he told Gideon, who appointed leader, "Look, Gideon, you have too many people, and too many for me, in God, to give the Midianite into the hand of the enemies, unless Israel, you guys, boast over me, saying, 'My own hand has saved me.'" So God seemed like want to use smaller group, the one who really have the heart, and even small number. He wanted to show his power to win over the powerful enemy, the Midianite at that time. And so God, told Gideon that, now proclaim in the ears of people, saying, "Whoever fearful, trembling, let him return home and hurry away to Mount Gilead." And so the Lord don't want any kind of people going to the battle because they feel they're forced to go because they feel that, if they don't go, they feel, guilty and, but say, hey, if you're already here trembling and fearful, no worry, you can go home, return home. And, and I still can deal with it. And then 20,000 of the people return. Only 10,000 remain. Think about that. Let's say they have 32, right? So more than half actually return home. Which means that whatever the motive, they join the army. Maybe Gideon leading us, we just have to do it. But here, God gave them the option. Hey, look, you can go home. This is freaking out. So it looked like to me that maybe the disciple is someone that really have faith in the one who's going to deliver you out of the enemy. This guy, the 10,000 left remain. I mean, they saw it already. And the Lord said to Gideon in verse 4, the people are too many. Well, half gone already, more than half. Take them down to the water. So it's like, okay, now if you tell them again, they probably, upset, like, hey, look, 20,000 went home already, 10,000 with me. What do you want, Gideon? So the Lord said, okay, never mind, just follow my instruction, take them down to the water. I will test them. Who tests them? God tests them, not Gideon. God tests them test them for you there. Test for Gideon, right? So it's almost like selection, like a warrior, a discipleship, and leadership selection. All of us, I don't know about you, but I want to be inclusive. I want to include everyone. But over and over again, the Bible seems to show us like there's certain men that God wants to build up strong, solid, and become a strong warrior and fighter and disciple. To be with everyone that sometimes is just, God said that two is not good for me, because people will say, you have big number, you have all of that. So as a pastor, I really got struck by this, because we always want more people. But I just came to realize that discipleship, it happened in a small group with the people who have the heart, the dedication for the Lord. Those who want to serve the Lord out of, if I don't serve him, he's gonna get mad with me. This thing too difficult. I'm not sure I'm gonna win. I'm not sure I can do it. Those people, they not even sure before they start already, right? So we can encourage them, but you do all you can. Sometimes, to be honest, sometimes it's just wasting your time. Let the Lord test them. So the Lord said, bring them down to the water, the people there, too many, take them down to the water. I will test them for you there. Anyone of whom I say to you, the Lord speaking, this one shall go with you, shall go with you. Anyone of whom I say to you, this one shall not go with you, shall not go with you. So basically, clear instruction to Gideon. So he brought people down to the water, and the Lord said to Gideon, everyone who laps the water with his tongue, as a dog laps, you shall set by himself. All right. Likewise, everyone who kneels down to drink. All right. So Gideon was, there with them, and the number of those who lapped and put their water into their mouth was 300 men. So the people who put their water into the mouth was 200 men, but the rest of people knelt down and drink water. The Lord said to Gideon in verse 7, with the 300 men who lapped, I will save you and give the Midianite into your hand. Let all the others go, every man to his home. I don't understand what the logic behind that selection process, but the context seemed like, I don't know exactly. It's something to do with this man very careful, putting their water into their mouth and lap, and someone just kneel down and drink directly from the stream. Maybe the Lord sees something in their heart, but also maybe it has to do with how they probably they kind of pay attention. I don't know if probably there's previous instruction of how to drink the water, but perhaps that doesn't want anyone to kneel down as your dog, because it's used here, as a dog laps the water. It's somebody that just really take the water into the hand and put it in the mouth, kind of with some respect, with some kind of a concern, a detail, you can just feel this is kind of the very careful warrior to drink water out of their hands, and not just like dogs. And so this is a lot of things that we don't want to focus on that. But what I see here is that the Lord selected 300 men for Gideon. Okay? And of course, the rest of the story The Bible clearly said, the Lord bring Midianite into their hands, 300 men and Gideon. Not because they're so smart and so military, able, but the Bible keeps saying, I will bring them into your hand. We mean you just finish them. We mean that you and I, when we being selected by the Lord, and we carefully observe His word, as we carefully do about process, it's just not about water, even though we carefully put into our mouth, taking care of everything the Lord has entrusted to us, even simple as the water. The battle will be ours, not because our ability, but the Lord had handed over. Whatever the struggle that you face, discipleship is that, yes, Lord, I want to be in discipleship, and I come and I want to be trained, I want to be equipped, I want to be discipled, because that exciting journey. And sometimes I don't know, if the Lord grant me 100, I wish that 100 be discipled. But in reality, I must admit that sometimes the Lord grant 12 disciples. Or even the big one, like, remember this, from 32,000 down to 300. That's about 10%. And that's the God's way and God's will, how to select this man. And whatever the struggle, the fight that we are in here, the only way to see transformation is to be the disciple of Jesus Christ. I remember I talked to a friend who shared with me that someone that's struggling with sin, and whether it's an ex-LGBT community, even or same-sex attraction, and that person asked me, what is the solution for this? And I kind of scramble of a bit. Oh, maybe need some medical consultation. Maybe you have some counseling, all of that. But to my surprise, and then I just feel a bit shameful. Say, yeah, same thing. One keyword: discipleship. Because that person needs to see that how other men live. That person needs to see how a healthy couple lives. That one needs to see how the healthy church function. That one needs to see how the study of the Bible. They need to see everything because they did not have the model before. That's why they might perhaps both biologically and mentally and psychologically they become same-sex attraction. They become either they follow LGBT, they don't even know because there's no model for them. Everything is okay. So discipleship is key for growth, transformation, joy. And now, no one said it's easy. Follow Jesus requires surrendering, suffering, and discipleship. Just thank God that God has selected you. And when you watch this one, in your own churches, whether it's NLF OC, New Life Fellowship of Churches, you watch this, or New Life Fellowship Ho Chi Minh City, you watch this. God wants to select you and train you, equip you, not the person next to you. Unless you insist that, no, I don't want anything to do with discipleship. The Lord will leave you alone as 32,000. Let them go home. It's no condemnation here, but it means that those 300 men with Gideon witnessed the victory, witnessed the battle conquered. Do you want that for your life? My encouragement to you, be among the 300 men. Be among the 12 disciples. And that's my prayer for you. Again, no guilt trip, no condemnation here. But I want to be part of the victory together. And let us be the disciple of Jesus Christ. I will see you next time.